What is going on, everybody in Max Squad? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing a speed test between the Moto G Power and the LG G8 Thinq. Stay tuned. So yep, Max Squad, we are back with another speed test, and this is going to be between the Moto G Power and the LG G8 Thinq. And to get things started, I wanted to discuss the specifications on paper, which is the first category of my speed test here. So with the Moto G Power here on the left side, you can see that we got the Snapdragon 665 inside. It's an octa-core chipset that is clocked at 2 GHz, and it has the Adreno 610 for the GPU. The device also has 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of internal storage. And out of the box, the Moto G Power is going to be running Android 10 with security patch of February 1st, 2020. And with the LG G8 Thinq, you can see that we have the Snapdragon 855 inside of this device. It's an octa-core chipset, and it has cores that range from different frequencies, but the biggest one is 2.84 GHz, and it has the Adreno 640 for the GPU. The device also has 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of internal storage. And currently the LG G8 Thinq is running Android 10 with security patch of February 1st, 2020. So as far as the on-paper results here, it has to go to the LG G8 Thinq. It has more RAM, more internal storage, a more powerful CPU, and the Moto G Power is still just a budget phone. It was an easy one here. The LG G8 currently has a score of 1, while the Moto G Power has a score of 0. Let's get to the next part. So with this next part of the speed test, what it's going to be is the application opening test and RAM management test. And so basically what I do is just open a series of applications on each device at the same time to see which one can open the application faster. And afterwards, I test the RAM to see which device can hold the applications that we open in the background better. So let's go ahead and get that started. The first application I'm going to open up here is Play Store in 3, 2, 1. That goes to the LG G8 Thinq. The next application we're going to open up here is YouTube. So 3, 2, 1. That goes to the LG G8 Thinq. The next application we're going to open up here is Amazon. So 3, 2, 1. That goes to the LG G8 Thinq. The next application I'm going to open up is Best Buy. So 3, 2, 1. That goes to the LG G8 Thinq. So now let's jump into social media. Facebook, 3, 2, 1. That goes to the LG G8. Instagram, 3, 2, 1. That was kind of a tie there. Twitter in 3, 2, 1. It goes to the LG G8 Thinq. And so the next application is going to be Reddit. 3, 2, 1. That goes to the LG G8 Thinq. And the last application I'm going to open up here is Spotify. So 3, 2, 1. That goes to the LG G8 Thinq once again. So to no one's surprise, the LG G8 Thinq opened up every single application faster than the Moto G Power. I think one was a tie, and that may have been Instagram. So let's go ahead and test the RAM for each device here. Now keep in mind, the LG G8 has 6 gigs of RAM, and the Moto G Power has 4 gigs of RAM. So let's see what happens here. Play Store, held in the background by both. YouTube, held in the background by both. Amazon, held in the background by both with a tiny refresh, I guess. Best Buy, held by both. Facebook, held by both. Instagram, held by both. Twitter, held by both. Reddit, held by both. And Spotify, held by both. So as you saw there with the application opening / RAM management part of the test, the LG G8 Thinq opened up every single application faster than the Moto G Power. Granted, one app was a tie, which was Instagram, but you know, that doesn't really count because if it's a tie, it'll be 0-0. So every single app was open faster in the LG G8 Thinq. Now, when it came to the RAM management part of the test here, you can see that both devices were able to hold each application in the background with no issues at all. Now, I probably could have opened up a few more applications, and that's where the LG would have probably like outlasted the G Power. But we clearly saw that the LG G8 Thinq took this W here from the Moto G Power. And so that leaves us with a score currently 2 for the LG G8 and 0 for the Moto G Power. Let's go ahead and get to the next part of the speed test. So with this next part of the speed test here, what we're going to be discussing are the Geekbench numbers, the ATUTU benchmark numbers, and the new addition to my speed test here. I'm going to go ahead and access the app Speedtest, I think speedtest.net, and test which device is going to have the faster Wi-Fi connection. So as of right now, with the Geekbench 5 application pulled up on both devices, you can see that the Moto G Power has a single core score of 311 and a multi-core score of 1,369. Well, on the right here, the LG G8 has a single core score of 728 and a multi-core score of 2,503. So clearly you can see on single core performance and on the multi-core performance that the LG G8 Thinq is a lot faster than the Moto G Power. And so this W has to go to the LG G8 Thinq. As far as the Geekbench here, let's get to the ATUTU. So with the ATUTU benchmark numbers here, you can see on the Moto G Power, we got 166,325. And on the LG G8 Thinq, we got 436,839. So almost a 300,000 point difference as far as performance. And clearly, the LG G8 Thinq takes this W here. I don't have to go into detail as to why. I mean, just look at the numbers. This is a budget phone going up against a flagship. Entertainment purposes, I know that one phone is better than the other, but it's interesting to see what actually happens. So I'm going to run each test at a separate time. So I'm going to do the G Power first and then the LG G8 second. And based on the results I get from each one of those tests, I'm going to determine a winner. So first one is the G Power. Let's see what kind of download speeds it gets. So we're putting about 30 megabits. Is that megabits? Gotta be megabits, yeah. Because if I was putting down 30 megs, I would think something was wrong. About 32 megabits down and about 20 megabits up. We got 32.7 down as far as megabits and 20.9 up. Let's go ahead and get the LG G8 Thinq speed test underway. Now I was suspecting that it was going to get a little bit faster of a down speed here, but it's not looking like it. This has to go to the Moto G Power, but being that there's 3 separate categories between the Geekbench ATUTU and Speedtest here, the LG G8 took 2 of those, and so automatically it gets that W. So as of right now, we got a score of 3 for the LG G8 Thinq and 0 for the Moto G Power. So of course, in a real world test, 3 out of 5 categories, being that one device won those, would mean that they are guaranteed to be the winner here. But we do have 2 more categories left. Let's go ahead and get to those last 2 categories to close out this video. So if you're a new subscriber or a new viewer here to the channel, you're probably wondering, what is the other 2 categories? The 4th category here is going to be a application install test, in which I just take several of the top applications here from the Play Store and install them on each device to see which device can actually install the application faster. Now I do the best 2 out of 3, and so we're just going to pick randomly what app we're going to install here. So I guess the first one we can do is Snapchat. Why not, right? So Snapchat is going to be the first application that we install in 3, 2, 1. Let's see which device can install the application faster here. All right. Looks like got off a slow start here for the Moto G Power, but the LG G8 Thinq is definitely out in front. That goes to the Moto G Power. It installed the application faster than the LG G8 Thinq. Let's get to the next app. Now the next application we're going to install here is Venmo. So let's get that started in 3, 2, 1. All right, let's see who can download first. All right, look like we're having a bit of a struggle on the LG G8, but the Moto G Power is definitely off to a good start. But are we gonna have a comeback from the LG G8 Thinq? Let's speed this part of the video up to see what happens. And that goes to the Moto G Power. Man, LG G8 Thinq, what was going on? So as you saw there with the application install test, the Moto G Power actually ended up installing both applications, well, the first two that I threw at them, faster than the LG G8 Thinq. And it's kind of interesting because in other speed test videos that I have here on the channel that you probably actually watched, the Moto G Power was actually struggling to install applications faster than the other device that I had it up against. But the fastest one that I put it up against, it beats it. For sure, for sure, for sure. The W has to go to the Moto G Power. And so currently we have a score of 3 for the LG G8 Thinq and 1 for the Moto G Power. Let's get to the last part of the speed test here and close the video out. So with the last category of the speed test here, this is going to be a simple power off and restart test to see which device can actually cut off and come back on faster. Now, if I got to guess, I'm going to say the LG G8 Thinq because the Moto G Power takes a very long time to power back on. So without any further ado, let's get that started in 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this part of the video up just because it's going to take probably a few seconds for each device to power back on. And that goes to the LG G8 Thinq. RIP to the boot screen for the Moto G Power, y'all. I'm just gonna cut this part of the video short. Now in the unpapered test, I kind of knew obviously the LG G8 was gonna win that part of the speed test or that first category because a flagship phone with the 855 versus the 665 and another phone, it's not gonna compare. So that was an easy W. With the second part of the speed test, which was the application opening test and the RAM management test, I should say, the LG G8 opened up every single application except Instagram, which was technically a tie between both devices. But besides that, the LG G8 took everything. Now, when it came to the RAM part of the test, that's when both devices actually shine. And when I probably thought I should have opened up more applications, but that would have definitely been a W for the LG G8 Thinq. But since it opened up every single app faster and it was pretty much a tie in the RAM, the W went to the LG G8. Now, when it came to the Geekbench part and the AnTuTu benchmark part of the speed test, with the new addition to the speedtest.net application, that clearly went to the LG G8. Looking at the Geekbench numbers, looking at the AnTuTu benchmark numbers, they just aren't comparable to the Moto G Power. But it was still fun to put these devices up against each other to see exactly what will happen. Now, when it came to the fourth part of the speed test here, which is the application install test, you saw that the Moto G Power installed 2 of the 3 applications that I threw at each device faster than the LG G8 Thinq. And I had problems in previous speed test videos with the Moto G Power where it actually had struggles installing applications against other devices in this category. In this case here, going up against the LG G8 Thinq, it outperformed it. Now for the last part of the speed test here, we did the power off and restart test. And this phone in particular, the Moto G Power, is notoriously bad as far as rebooting. And so it takes a long time to cut back on. And that had to go to the LG G8 Thinq because it powered back on way faster than the Moto G Power. And to close the video out here, the score ended up being 4 for the LG G8 Thinq and 1 for the Moto G Power. So yeah, let me know in the comment section, what did you think was gonna happen? Be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any coverage of the Moto G Power or any other device that I have here in the lineup in future videos. Also, like this video because that does help the channel grow, gets my video in front of more eyes, and allows people to make better decisions when it comes to purchasing budget phones. But there's one more thing I need you guys to do, Mac Squad. Share this video with your friends and family and let them know that not all Android cameras suck. It is just not true. But until then, my name is Max Rock. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good day, y'all. Deuces.